On winter nights, things seem quiet, but not everything is really asleep. From bone-chilling creatures to terrifying snowy encounters. This video is a compilation of disturbing true winter horror moments ever recorded on camera.
Oh my god.
I've been walking in the woods. I'm hearing really loud and weird noises.
After the winter break, a female teacher in Zermatt, Switzerland, was walking to school while recording a vlog on her phone. Suddenly, she noticed a dark, hairy figure running toward her from a distance. Startled, she quickly stepped back and turned to escape, not even daring to look behind her. The video cut off abruptly, and she went missing from that day. Later, her phone was found lying in the snow near the same spot, but there was no sign of her, no footprints leading away, no clues. Nothing. To this day, people still wonder what that creature was and where she had gone.
You're like,
Creepy snow sculpture. On the 27th of December 2023, a man living in Oslo, Norway, heard a strange screeching sound coming from his backyard. When he went to see what was causing it, he was terrified to find a strange structure made of snow. The sculpture was hollow inside, and what made it even scarier was that it was stained with something red. It also had strange pointy ears on top, as if it were a mask of some ghostly creature. The man recorded a video of it and kept thinking for days about who could have made this sculpture. But after that night, he never heard any more strange sounds from his backyard. Alienoid. There had been rumors of an alien sighting in Canmore, Canada, but no one really believed them until this footage went viral. The video shows a strange figure with a slender body, an almond-shaped head, and large, black, bulging eyes. It appears out of the darkness in a house's backyard, moving crouched low, then suddenly stands up and walks around as if it owns the place. People are convinced it might be real, but the authorities have not confirmed whether it was an alien or just an elaborate hoax.
Oh.
Mysterious snow creature. This footage was captured by a trail camera set up by a hunter to track the movements of polar bears on Wrangel Island, Russia. When the man retrieved the footage from the camera, his jaw dropped as he saw a strange creature moving toward the bait, step by step. The creature's body and face were completely covered in black fur, unlike any bear he had ever seen. Even more disturbing was that it was walking on two legs, and its arms, hands, and legs looked human-like. The creature was bellowing in an unsettling sound. He had been a professional hunter for 20 years, yet he had never seen anything like this before. He shared the footage with the wildlife department, but they also could not identify the creature, and this mystery remains unsolved. Creepy legs. In Zalpi, Poland, a man was filming a rabbit in the street when a strange figure suddenly appeared in the distance. The terrifying thing was that it had no upper body. Only two legs were seen running. That same night, while the man was returning home after shopping, he saw a similar figure moving across a bridge, again walking on two legs with no upper body. When the videos were shared online, viewers identified the creature as a Fresno nightcrawler, a ghostly figure known for walking on just two legs with no visible upper body. Terrifying woods creature.
No way.
A family was celebrating Christmas Day together in northern Minnesota when one of them began filming to capture the moment. Suddenly, they heard a strange sound coming from the nearby woods. They stepped outside and spotted a massive, dark creature moving in the trees. The forest was too dense and shadowy for the camera to clearly capture it. Their pet dog tried to run toward the creature, but they quickly stopped it, fearing danger. The family had lived there for 25 years, yet they had never seen anything like this before. And to this day, they still don't know what it was.
Oh.
Oh
no.
Bathroom witch. A man in Albertown, New Zealand, was staying alone at home for 2 weeks while his parents were away. He kept hearing strange noises from the bathroom, so one day he turned on his camera and went to check. At first, everything looked normal, but as he was closing the door, a creepy creature suddenly appeared, fell to the floor, and crawled toward him. It had long, tangled black hair, white eyes, a wide mouth, and a red face. Terrified, he collapsed. Neighbors later found him unconscious, and he couldn't remember what happened. Strange preserved mammoth. A man was visiting the Nordic Museum on Djurgården, an island in Stockholm, Sweden, and was left shocked by what he saw. In front of him was a giant mammoth, preserved in ice so perfectly that it looked almost alive. While he was filming, the mammoth's brown eye suddenly blinked. Shocked, he moved closer and recorded its snout that seemed to be moving, as if the creature was still breathing. Out of curiosity, the man went to the museum staff and told them what he had seen. They replied that it was impossible for it to move. Was it just a trick of his mind? Or was the museum hiding something from the public? Decide for yourself. Yeti. On the 11th of November, 2025, a man was paragliding over the snowy mountains of Chamonix, France, when he spotted something unsettling on a peak. A strange creature was walking upright on 2 legs, just like a human, but its body was covered in thick black hair. As the paraglider passed frighteningly close, the figure clearly resembled a yeti, the legendary ape-like creature said to live in frozen mountains. The sight left him shaken. Was it truly a myth coming to life, or something else wandering in the snow? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Bone-chilling creature. While hiking in Kosciuszko National Park in Australia, a group of friends lost their way as darkness began to fall. They kept moving, unaware of the danger waiting ahead. Suddenly, a strange creature appeared out of nowhere in their path, and out of panic, they quickly changed direction. Another figure emerged from the cave. It wore torn clothes and had a disturbingly thin body, creepy, unblinking eyes, tangled hair, sharp teeth, and a twisted, red-stained face. The creature suddenly leapt toward them, and the video cut off. No one knows what happened next. The hikers never returned home, and only their camera was found at the spot. Giant handprint. In Tupelo, Mississippi, a man went into the forest one winter evening to collect firewood. He suddenly noticed a huge handprint on the ground. It was far bigger than any human hand, as if a giant had pressed its palm into the snow. Feeling scared, he opened Google Maps to get the quickest way to get home. But on the satellite view, he saw a strange black figure standing on the snow, near where he was. He realized something dangerous might be wandering around, so he rushed home, not daring to look back. Strange humanoid. A man was out in the mountains on a routine hunt when 2 strange creatures suddenly stepped out from the trees and walked across a frozen lake and long, scaly tails. The strangest part was how they moved, walking on 2 legs, hunched forward. Their heads looked wrong too, shaped in a way he couldn't explain. Shocked by what he was seeing, the man quickly posted the video online and asked if anyone knew what these creatures could be. But the viewers were just as confused as he was. So if you have any idea what they might be, let me know in the comments. Creepy witch. On the 2nd of February 2024, a strange incident was captured by a solo biker who was traveling late at night to Manali, India. As he rode across a dark road, his camera suddenly recorded a strange figure peeking at him from behind the wooden side of a bridge. The figure looked terrifying. It had black markings on its face, wide open eyes that stared without blinking, and was dressed in all black. The biker was so frightened that instead of crossing the bridge, he took a longer route to reach his destination. Later, when he showed the footage to the locals, they told him she might be a witch waiting there to lure travelers. Cemetery ghost. A man living in Ushuaia, Argentina, went to the cemetery after 8 p.m. to visit his late mother. As he walked between the tombstones, he noticed a dark figure slowly moving in the middle of the cemetery. He froze in fear, but managed to take out his phone and start recording. The figure suddenly stopped and stood motionless, as if it were a statue. The man was too scared to go closer, as he never saw any statues in the cemetery. His heart pounding, he turned around and hurried home, fearing that it might be a ghost, because cemeteries are known to be filled with restless spirits. Dyatlov Pass Incident. In 1959, a group of 9 hikers, led by Igor Dyatlov, went on a trip into the Ural Mountains in Russia. They suddenly changed their planned route and set up their tent on a snowy slope called Kholat Shukl, or Dead Mountain. They were so terrified by something in the night that they cut their way out of the tent and ran into the snow without even proper clothes. When rescuers later found them, the scene was tragic. The tent was still there, torn open. Their footprints led away into the snow and were found in different places. There was also small amounts of radiation on their clothes. The official explanation was that an avalanche scared them and made them flee. But many people doubt this, because the details don't fully match a normal avalanche. To this day, no one knows for sure what really happened at Dyatlov Pass, which is why it's still considered one of the creepiest real-life mysteries. Monster inside lake. A man went out to fish on Eno Lake in Asturias, Spain. The lake was frozen, so he brushed away the snow to dig a hole in the ice for his fishing line. But as the ice cleared, he froze in shock. A strange face was staring back at him from inside the lake. Its mouth was wide open, with 2 dark nostrils and huge, round, bulging eyes rimmed with red. The man left it inside, fearing that it was some monster, and staying there any longer might land him in serious trouble. Skinwalker. After closing his shop late at night in Tremblant, Canada, a man was heading home when he noticed something strange near the slope by his house. A terrifying creature was slowly crawling uphill, so he turned on his camera, sensing danger. The creature had a pale complexion, creepy black eyes, and moved on all 4s. Suddenly, it leapt toward him, and the man ran for his life. Locals often spoke of a skinwalker, a mythical creature to roam nearby mountains, but he never believed the stories before. Now he was sure something dangerous was lurking in the mountains. Witch in the car. One rainy evening, a family was driving back to their hometown in Costa Rica after spending the winter holidays in the hills. The road was dark and empty when they suddenly noticed something strange in the car in front of them. Through the rear windscreen, they saw a pale figure sitting in the back seat, staring straight at them. It had glowing eyes, messy hair, and a thin, creepy body, almost like a witch. The worst part was that the driver of that car seemed completely unaware of the thing sitting right behind him. Panic set in, and the father quickly changed their route as his son started crying to see the creature. Terrifying snow ghost.
What is that? Do you see that right there?
2 friends were on vacation in Denver, Colorado, when one night they heard a strange sound coming from outside. It was completely dark, so they started filming in the moonlight. Suddenly, a dark figure appeared on the bridge. It stood there, motionless, facing them. Then, without warning, it moved and disappeared in the trees, as if it were made of smoke. Later, when they went outside to see what it was, they found nothing, only trees and snow everywhere. They could not get what they had seen that night, and to this day, the memory of that silent, ghostly figure still haunts them. Strange hospital entity. A security guard was on his night shift at a hospital in Kiruna, Sweden, which was closed for remodeling. Suddenly, he heard a strange crying sound inside the building. Thinking it might be a homeless person, he went in to check. He saw something terrifying, a black figure peeking at him from behind the corner of a wall. It stayed there for only a second, then vanished without a sound. Terrified, the guard ran out of the hospital as fast as he could. He had already heard stories about ghosts and haunted hospitals, and after that night, he never went back to his job again. Mysterious hidden room. On the 11th of January 2024, a strange incident happened in Tallinn, Estonia. A couple bought a house and discovered a hidden room inside it. In the middle of the room, they found a Bible. Things became even more unsettling when they went up to the attic. There, they found a strange box filled with disturbing items, satanic symbols, a cross, mirrors, clothes, and old photographs. The couple was convinced that something wrong had taken place in the house, but they could not figure out who these objects belonged to. Maybe a sorcerer or someone even more dangerous. Mysterious doorway. One day, a man was skating in the mountains of Norway when he noticed a strange opening in the snow. It looked like a doorway, completely covered in ice and shrouded in darkness, as if it led to another world. When he returned home, he researched the place and came to know that scientists had recently discovered the same opening and revealed that it was actually an extremely deep hole. They had tried to measure it, but their equipment had still not reached the bottom. To this day, no one knows how deep it really is or what might be hiding in the darkness below. Devil's footprints.
Across the county, people made an alarming discovery. Cloven hoof prints that matched no man or beast that the good citizens of Devon had ever encountered.
On the 9th of February 1855, a man woke up early in the morning and noticed a long trail of footprints in the snow around his home. The prints looked like they were made by a two-legged creature with cloven hooves, almost like a goat or a deer, walking on just two legs. The locals were shocked because there was no known animal in the area that could leave marks like that while walking upright. People started coming up with different theories. Some said they were the devil's footprints, while others suggested it might have been a kangaroo. However, no official explanation was ever given, and the mystery remains unsolved to this day.
In the morning, a hard frost cemented the ground, freezing in place the evidence of each footfall upon the snow.
Unknown creature. One morning, a man was getting ready for work when he heard a strange croaking sound outside his window. Curious, he looked out and froze. A bizarre creature was sitting on a tree branch. It had huge, bulging black eyes, and its body looked like a frog. But what made it apart from a frog was that it had a long tail and thick, coarse hair growing from its head. The man shared its video with a zoologist friend. Even his friend was shocked. To him, it looked like some kind of strange mutation, a mix between a frog and a chameleon, but he was not so sure about it. Mapinguari. There were reports of a strange creature capturing livestock in Pipa village, Brazil, which left locals terrified. One cold night, the villagers decided to hunt the creature and spread out around the nearby forest, waiting for hours. Suddenly, a strange figure appeared among the trees. It stood upright on two legs like a human, but its body was covered in light brown fur, and its black face looked nothing like a man's. The locals believed it was the Mapinguari, a mythical creature from Brazilian folklore. Before they could capture it, the creature vanished into the forest and was never seen again. Haunted hotel. On the 13th of February 2017, a strange moment was captured by a hotel manager in Urumqi, China. At 4 a.m., the lights suddenly went out, and he heard a strange noise coming from the hallway. He went to check and left, stunned to see a plate sliding across the table on its own. Out of panic, he moved towards his cabin, and on the way, he saw a wall clock slowly swinging on the wall, even though nothing was touching it. Then, through the door glass of his cabin, he saw a white figure standing inside the room. His heart pounding, he rushed to open the door, but when he stepped in, the room was empty. That same night, he quit his job because his friends had already warned him not to work at that hotel, as it was haunted. Strange garage encounter. In Brașov, Romania, a garage mechanic experienced a terrifying moment while entering his workshop to return a repaired bike. He heard strange noises coming from within a wall. Suddenly, the lights went out. He switched on his camera and flashlight to investigate. Suddenly, a strange creature peeked out from a small crack in the wall. It looked like a dog with the same eyes and snout, but there was no space inside the wall for any animal to hide. The bike's owner panicked and ran away, leaving everything behind. Later, the man checked thoroughly, but could not find anything.
Arkadaş burada asansörde çalışırken garip sesler duymuş.
Mysterious figure. In the last week of December 2024, a woman was driving home late at night in Zamora, Spain, after having dinner with her friends. She noticed a strange figure standing outside a church and stopped her as she felt something was wrong. The figure was facing the church wall, completely still, but the moment it realized it was being filmed, it slowly turned its head and stared directly at her. It looked like a man wearing a red shirt, with a pale and lifeless face. The woman felt an intense fear, wondering whether he was possessed or not human at all, because why would someone stand alone outside a church so late at night? Followed by a ghost. On a cold winter morning in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, a man went for his usual walk deep into the woods. Suddenly, he heard a strange sound and pulled out his phone, expecting to film a wild animal. But what appeared was terrifying. A blurry, smoke-like figure emerged from the bushes and crossed the road before fading away. This wasn't the first time he had seen it. Just the night before, while driving home, he spotted the same shadowy figure dart across the road in front of his car and vanish instantly. Was it a ghost following him, or just his mind playing tricks? Decide it for yourself. Late night encounter. A group of friends was driving home after attending a wedding in Brussels, Belgium, late at night, when they noticed a strange figure standing alone by the roadside. The weather was freezing, yet the figure wore only a thin t-shirt and showed no sign of shivering. As they looked closer, they noticed its face was blurry, with a flat nose and small black eyes, unlike any normal human. Terrified, the driver suddenly hit the accelerator and sped away. All the way home, they kept wondering whether it was a ghost or something far more sinister. Haunted car. During winter vacation, a man was on a picnic with his family in Diligen, Armenia. When he went to get his car from the parking lot, he was left stunned. Through the windshield, he saw a strange creature sitting on the back seat. Its face was hidden by long black hair. He quickly opened the door, yet the back seat was completely empty. Terrified by the sight, he remembered he had recently bought the car very cheaply from a local dealer and began to wonder if it was haunted. La Llorona. On the 1st of November back in 2023, a young boy captured a bone-chilling incident at his hostel in Nicaragua, Central America. He woke up to go to the washroom when he spotted a creepy figure coming out of a room. It had skinny legs, torn-up clothes, a creepy face, long nails, and disheveled hair resembling a zombie. It was hollering, and suddenly it began to levitate in the courtyard. With trembling legs, he moved forward to film it, but it disappeared without leaving a trace. He shared the video on TikTok where commenters suggested that it was La Llorona, a crying witch from American folklore. Snow Devil. A strange moment was captured by a man early in the morning on the 15th of December, 2025, showing a strange whirl of snow and air moving over the surface of the snow in Park City, Utah. It seemed as if there was some invisible force inside it that was causing it to whirl like that. In some regions, people believe that it happened because of a supernatural force, but in science, it is called a snow-nado, a natural phenomenon that forms when cold air near the ground and warmer air above begin to mix, causing the air to rise and spin. blurry forest figure. On the 15th of October, a man was driving home near Munich, Germany, when he suddenly slammed on the brakes. A pale, blurry figure had glided out from the bushes and silently crossed the road before vanishing into the trees. The figure was so distorted that no clear features appeared on camera. He kept his distance, too scared to move closer. Watching the footage later, he believed that it looked like a woman in white, the same which locals whispered about for years. Strange dark entity. 2 years ago in Helsinki, Finland, a woman was about to sleep when she heard a strange sound coming from under her bed. Before she could get up, she saw a strange figure appear in front of her bed. Only its head was clearly visible, but that alone was enough to terrify her. It felt as if something paranormal was trying to make itself known. Later, when the woman checked around carefully, she didn't find anything unusual. Even so, she was too scared to sleep in her own room and went to her parents' room for the night. Haunted light. On the night of the 10th of October, 2018, a group of students was walking home from the University of Innsbruck in Austria when they caught something strange on camera. One of the bollard lights suddenly started blinking on its own, and after a moment, it switched on at full brightness. The creepy part was that it seemed to respond to their voices. When the students told it to turn on, the light did exactly that. Later, they said those lights hadn't worked for almost 2 years. Yet that night, one of them lit up only when they spoke to it. They were convinced that it might have been something paranormal, especially since there had been other eerie incidents reported around the university. Strange prisoner. This footage was shared by a confidential source from the Russian police department, showing a man imprisoned in a cell when, late at night, he suddenly gets up from his bed and begins letting out horrifying screams while violently shaking the bed, as if he were possessed or under the influence of some substance. By morning, he was found in an unresponsive condition. Viewers suggested that it might be a part of a Russian sleep experiment in which prisoners were prevented from sleeping for 15 days using a stimulant gas that eventually destroyed their mental state and turned them into real zombies. Frogman. In Cancun, Mexico, people were shocked when they saw a strange creature sitting on a rooftop. It had olive green skin, round ears, and a flat nose. Its body was shaped like a human, but it had very long arms, webbed feet, and a face that didn't look like any normal person. Because it made croaking sounds like a frog, people started calling it the Frogman. The authorities eventually arrived and took the creature away to examine it. After that night, no official report or explanation was ever shared, so the whole event remains a mystery. Now it's time for today's most terrifying subscribers pick of the day. Before the snowfall in Aspen, Colorado, a group of friends decided to go trekking one evening. After walking for several miles, they reached a no-go area in the forest. Warning signs were nailed to the trees, saying it was private property. Curious, they ignored the signs and went in to see what was inside. They had no idea they were walking towards something truly bone-chilling. Suddenly, a strange creature dressed in torn white stepped out of the darkness. It was holding an axe. Terrified, the friends turned and ran as fast as...